guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Masters of the Universe Classics Fang-Or. That's right, my friends. It's a brand new wave of Masters of the Universe Classics action figures straight from the folks over at Super 7. And I'm going to kick off this new series of reviews with a brand new character finally getting an action figure in Fang-Or, the freakishly fanged Snake Man warrior. So as you can see, the figures do still come on that standard Masters of the Universe Classics blister card packaging, showcasing our figure and his accessories within. You can even see up here in this poly bag, there's like his interchangeable head. I thought that was kind of weird. It's kind of just bouncing around in there. I don't know if it's like that on everybody's. It kind of seems like it should be down in the bottom, but mine's just kind of bouncing around up at the top here. And then over on this side, his cool little Sidekick character comes packaged in there with him. Now, taking a look at the back, we do have some new stuff going on here. So first of all, we got a small cross-sell up at the top. And this, of course, is all of the figures from this particular series from Super 7. So these all went on pre-order at the same time, meaning they all shipped at the same time. So this is what everybody is getting right now. Now, on the side of that is something brand new for the Classics packaging. And that is brand new artwork for the character within. So we got some beautiful artwork here by Axel Jimenez, who, by the way, is the guy who created this particular character, which is pretty cool that it's included, and he even got to do the art for the packaging. So shout out to Axel. And then down below that, we've got a brand new bio for the character. That's right, my friends. The bios have returned. So those of you who have been missing some story, you've got them right here on the brand new characters. And of course, the Super 7 logo is now down here in the bottom portion of the packaging. So, that's enough about the box. Let's go ahead and open this up and take a look at the figure within. Alright, so we got Fang-Or outside of the packaging so we can take a closer look at him. So as I mentioned, Fang-Or is one of those new original characters that came about during the Masters of the Universe Classics line, appearing in the mini-comic, The Second Ultimate Battleground. And he's one of those characters that just has such a fun design that screamed to be turned into an action figure. So it's pretty cool seeing him turned into plastic form. And all in all, he's a really, really cool sculpt. Now, the one thing you're going to notice right out of the box is the fact that he's got this crazy head with these massive fangs poking out. Now, it's worth noting, as I showed you in the packaging, there is a second head with much shorter fangs. So if this guy were in the vintage toy line, you could probably imagine that his gimmick would have been that his fangs grew or kind of jutted out. So it's pretty cool to think about it in that aspect. It's almost like a reverse action feature thought process here. But you can switch those heads out very easily, just like we could before. Now, it is worth noting, like with previous figures I've gotten from Super 7 so far, the heads don't seem to like really pop onto that joint, at least not with Fang-Or here so far. It goes on there fine, but you can see it's real easy to pull off. And it doesn't seem like I can really push it on too far. Now, it doesn't seem to be a problem where it like falls off, so it's not too loose or anything like that, but it's worth noting that it's very easy to pop off. You don't have to put a lot of pressure to it at all. But you can very easily just pop that other head on there. Again, same thing, doesn't really snap on or anything, but it fits on the peg nice and snug, and that way it gives it kind of a different look for the character with the much shorter fangs there. Now, I will say the paint deco on this looks pretty good through and through. I do have a few minor paint slops. I got a little bit of red on the chin there on this particular head, and you know, there's a little bit of kind of sloppiness on the paint. You can see some of the green has got some red on it on the armor, but for the most part it looks pretty good. I don't have any like really bad blotches. The worst thing I have is that red that's on the chin there, but it's a really cool color scheme too. It actually fits in very nicely with the Snake Man motif. Actually does have a bit more of that 2000X feel to it. Kind of feels like it would fit right in with that version of King Hiss, but I kind of love it. It's got these browns, golds, and bronze all kind of mixed in there, and there's some really great metallic paints in that bronze and the gold. You can really see it kind of on the forearms there, as well as in the belt. The Snake Man emblem is right there on the belt buckle, which is very cool. So just all in all, really cool looking figure. I think he makes for a great looking action figure. Now, the plastic feels really good on this guy, and that is definitely worth noting because the last batch of figures from Super 7 that I took a look at were the PowerCon exclusives from last year, and they were made of very, very hard plastic. So much so that it was kind of hard to pose them around, and it was really hard to put weapons in hands, and that is definitely not the case here. I would definitely say that the plastic feels much more normal on this particular figure. He doesn't feel too loose, he doesn't feel too tight, he actually feels pretty good, and the hands are pliable enough that you'll be able to get the weapons in there, but they're not too gummy, so it's very, very nice. Now, the articulation goes as follows on this guy. He does have that standard ball joint as I showed you where you can pop the head off, so the head can go side to side as well as move slightly up and down. You do have the same kind of ball joints at the shoulders, so the arms can go outwards, forwards, and backwards. You can swivel at the biceps. I will say the biceps are a little loose, but not overly loose. They're not flopping around, so that's okay. You do have nice tight joints at the elbows, kind of have that ratchet there, which is really cool. You got regular swivels at the wrists. The torso joint is actually rather loose here. You can see he does kind of bobble around. That's the worst spot on the articulation on this guy, and there are some times where I'm kind of posing him and he kind of flops forward, so I definitely wish this joint was a little tighter. You can swivel him at the waist, which is pretty nice. He does have really great ball joints at the thighs, so they can go outwards, forwards, backwards, great range of motion there, swivel. You got the standard joints at the knees. You can swivel at the boot cut there, right where the little shin guards are. And then for the ankles, you actually have some really nice ankle articulation. Check that out. You can actually move the ankles side to side, as well as up and down. So you actually got a little bit of a pivot there on this guy. So that's pretty nice. That's not something we see a lot on the figures from Classics, but that should allow you to get some pretty good poses out of this guy. And like I said, it all holds pretty well, with the worst part being the torso, but even that, it's still not overly floppy, so we can still get him posed around. Now, one cool thing about this guy is he does come with several accessories. So he's kind of listed in the bio as being the Snake Man's mechanic and kind of weaponeer. So one of the things that I thought was really awesome is that 3 of his accessories are tools. And it's kind of fun to see what the Horsemen did with these, because they basically imagined these snake-themed tools. We've got a wrench and a screwdriver and a hammer, and the hammer and the wrench specifically have these very snake-like details to them, which just make them very, very fun. But they're also done in a nice shiny gold. Now, his left hand has got the much tighter grip, so he actually will hold onto the tools much better with that hand, but you can position them in his right hand there as well, so that's pretty cool, getting to kind of pose him around with the different tools there. Now, of course, if you don't just want Fang-Or to be tinkering around with tools and weapons, he can go into battle there as well. He's got this awesome sword that's got this very cool design to it. It's kind of got like this flat gray on the blade, so it's not shiny like the rest of the stuff, but it's still really nice. It's actually not pliable at all. It's actually nice and rigid, and he definitely holds that best in his left hand, but you can get it in his right hand there as well for some very cool poses. And of course, when he's charging into battle, I actually prefer him to have the longer fangs there, so he's a little meaner looking. Oh, so very, very cool there. Now, in addition to all of the weapons, he also comes with this cool little sidekick guy. I'm not sure if he's got a name, so forgive me if I'm missing that, but he's very cool. He's almost like this little serpent dragon thing. So you can see he's got a very cool snake-like body, but he's got these cool little dragon wings. Very neat looking little character. He is a very, very rigid plastic, so he is not pliable at all. He does not bend, and as a result, I don't really know what to do with him. I don't know the proper way to display this guy. He doesn't really sit on the ground, and I'm not sure if I'm missing it, but he doesn't really have a good way to like hang out on Fang-Or. You can kind of wrap him around the shoulder there and have him sitting up on his shoulders. You can get that to work, or I guess you can just have Fang-Or holding him and kind of whipping him around there. So that's kind of fun. It's a neat little inclusion. I wish there was a better way to display it, but I do love sidekick characters, so that's pretty cool little pack in. And like I said, this dude is loaded up with accessories, so I definitely love that. So there you guys go. There is a look at the Masters of the Universe Classics Fang-Or. All in all, this is a pretty good figure all the way around. I really like the look of this guy. I think he's got a pretty great paint deco. He's got an awesome sculpt. My only downsides on this guy are definitely the fact that the head is just too loose on that ball joint. I wish it snapped on there a little tighter, because I don't feel like I should be able to pop it off that easy. And the torso is just a little too loose for my liking. But it's definitely a better outing than what we saw with the PowerCon exclusives, so we are definitely moving in a better direction, and I've got a bunch more new figures to look at, so we'll see how everything holds up in this brand new series. So Fang-Or here, like all of the new Masters of the Universe figures from Super 7, is sold by pre-order only. You can do that at super7store.com. Of course, this guy at this point, you can't buy from Super 7 because pre-order only. But if you want to stay up to date with future pre-orders, that's definitely the site you want to check. Otherwise, if you're hoping to pick this guy up, you're going to have to find him on the aftermarket. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of this guy. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on any of my Masters of the Universe reviews. Until next time.